Hello, Count here, back with another making a shortest path solver. I might as well just call it that. so, um, I guess one thing I should mention is that I'm probably going to move this series back onto the weekends because if you haven't know if you haven't noticed, I've been kind of pumping out a lot of this live streams, a lot of this series lately, but that's because I had a lot of time to work on it. And well, and now I'm gonna have to actually set aside this series because I have to go back to have to do some work and I gotta prioritize things. Anyway, I guess since the last time I made the save manager a lot more neat. Let me might as well open it. And yeah, I will also have to say that I also did have it such that oh yeah, I made this new function which basically opens the menu all the way up to the loading and saving menu. It pretty much brings you to this menu all the way. Now, the reason why I have it in the start is because whenever you open up, whenever you load up a graph, when you load up the, when you want to start up the game, you want to be able to choose which graph you want to load, whether it be a save, whether it be the first, second, third, or a new graph. Now, new graph, I finally got it to work. It basically, all it does is just summon, it just creates this edge. I also probably would like to rather kind of get rid of some I would like to probably get rid of some of to get rid of some of these debug.logs because there's quite a bit of them and I don't need all of them. The main ones I just need are like what mode you're set to, the mode you're set, and yeah. So right now I kind of don't have any saves. If I was to go to my, actually wait, I forgot, it's not navigated to that part. You have to go to percentage, I've data percentage, go back, look low, and default company. And I believe if you are, whoops, I believe if, okay, I believe if, excuse me. Okay, I believe if you, hold on a second, I'm checking some things. If you, yeah, what am I trying to say here? If you download this program and have the saves, it will actually not go to the default company. It will just go to your users, the compute, yeah, the user. Anyway, we have to go to our graph theory thing. However, yeah, we don't have any saves, so yeah. So that's why if we were to try to load this, it would say there was no save graph in slot 0. Then in can't delete anything because there's no graph to delete in slot 0, so the only thing we can do is create a new graph. All right, so now next thing I would like to do is to actually make this actually 3 slots because because that's what I plan to do. I wanted it to be 3 slots, not 1. So now I believe I can technically now actually duplicate this. So this is going to be save slot 2, and we're going to move this down along the Y. I believe this is supposed to be 67.5. Then we can lower this down on the Y to be exactly in the middle. Excuse me, exactly in the middle. And well, now we have to change the save slot to image. Save slot 2. The image is not going to be slot 1. In fact, it's going to be, if I can find the sprites, going to be slot 2. Yeah, I love that. Okay, anyway, so that's our slot 2, and now we need to save slot.delete file. Now we actually need to set this to 1. because it's a slot number. Then and lastly is save slot number 3. Now this one, we have to just set it to the negative, so negative 95. So negative 9. I was actually planning on doing this off stream, but I decided not to because I don't know. I just felt like I should have done it here. So this one's going to be 2, and lastly, our image is going to be number 3. Now, now with this in mind, let me go ahead and make a custom graph. So I'm going to go to our save manager and make 3 different graphs. One of them is just going to be 2. What I'm going to do is just make a temporary function right here. Going to be just a private void temp function, and this is all this is going to do is decode the vertex data. And what this is going to do is we'll just do the standard A, and we do at position 0, 0, 0, like that. We have another vertex, which one we'll obviously call B, and we're just gonna put it directly above. And lastly, decode edge data, which is obviously just going to be a B, and I leave its value, I'm just going to make it 5 or 3.14, and then we can do from A and to B, and lastly, it's not it's going to be directional. So yeah, I'm going to instead of loading a new graph, I'm just going to comment that out, and then what I want to do is to do temp function. There we go. With that, we can test our saving, and I want to save this to slot. So yeah, this is how it looks like, and let's go ahead and save this to number 2, confirm action, and we want to name it up. Why not? Confirm, and index is out of range, and that is because we forgot to increase the Ooh, it already. Oh wait, it's saved. Okay. Oh yeah, technically it's technically could save. It's just that it does the slot. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, what we now need to do is to go back to our save manager, increase this to not 2 to 3. Then under save slot, we're going to do this and this. Hopefully now this will work. Let's go ahead and test this out again. Hopefully it'll work this time. Close out all menus, and let's go ahead and save. I want to save this to number 2, so let's confirm, and let's call it up. Graph data, and well, if we want to load it, as you can see, we can load up a new graph, and what? Oh, don't tell me. Oh no. I think I messed up something. Okay, looks like I have to end that task. So, I believe the reason why that happened is because I messed up something when when you load up a new graph, file, you are supposed to delete all the edges and vertices. But didn't that work? I thought this worked already. I thought the delete vertex, I thought this already worked. Because it's technically supposed to delete everything. Whoops, not that. Shift escape. I'm pretty okay. I'm going to test this function out I'm going to make a temporary void update. So if that get key down, and this one is just going to be key code. Let's do J. You want to delete, you want to do this. I do not know. I've never seen that. I'm pretty sure it worked the last time I worked on this. So now if I kernel set to view and if I do J, it's rather interesting. It seems like the while loop actually, okay, good. For a second there I was, wait. Okay, let me open up the task manager because, yeah, okay, so definitely something's not wrong. Something is wrong with the delete vertices script. Now my problem is I can't tell if I don't know where the problem is. I can't tell if it's because of this while loop or if it's because of another while loop when when we delete the vertex, it checks if there are connected edges. I honestly because it's supposed to technically delete the vertice, everything. It's supposed to delete everything from the scene. And well, this while loop is technically necessary. While the vertex, while there are vertices present, goes through each. Okay, so how about this? Let's go back to our vertex interact and let's do this again. So we do graph editor.script.delete vertex and we pass in the the game object.name. I forgot to open up Unity again, so let me do that again. I do not. Okay, I would also like to mention that I do not plan to live stream for too long because yeah, it's already it's a Saturday, it's a Sunday for me, so I also need to do other things. So yeah. Anyway, let's go to edit mode and let's test it out. So it appears that the problem might be with the delete vertex script. Let me go ahead and check it out. So let me also open Unity back up and the graph theory shortest path solver. So So what this boolean does is checks if there are any vertices connected to the vertex. And while that is true, okay, I think I need to modify this part of the script. Rather than using a while loop, what I should do is make, I'm just going to comment this out for now. I swear this worked. I don't know what happened. I remember, yeah, it completely worked. Yeah, but I guess I might as well, a list of strings called, is going to be the edge names, connect edge names. This is equal to a new list of string. Now we have to go to, for each for each for each edge. I'm trying to think. Oh my gosh. Because either way, I do need to actually delete the game objects. That's the thing that's kind of getting me confused. I need to delete all the game objects, but either way, if I have a list or a dictionary, no matter what, I still eventually need to delete the game objects and modify the contents of the list or the dictionary. So how am I supposed to do this? Hmm. Uh, when you delete a vertex, you're supposed. So I wanted to. When you delete a vertex, you need to be you need to delete the edges that are connected to it, because when you delete the when you delete the vertex, there's nothing for that edge to be connected to anymore. So it should just disappear. That's why I have this function here. Well, so we pass in del vertex and we check for each edge. Check if it's P1, and when we delete the edge, hold on a second. I think I added this one. I added this code here. Maybe that's the reason why it's not working anymore. But that would be very contradictory if it was not there. But might as well test it. Okay. Huh. That's really strange. It can't find the edge in the dictionary. What? That's really strange. Delete edge. Delete edge escript.ename. That's rather strange. I guess I'm just not going to use that anymore because it technically I guess what's happening is that I mean I don't know why it can't find it. That's the thing. It should be able to find it. Delete vertex. If edge is the contains key, delete edge. That's so strange. It gets the edge. Maybe I should do .gameObject.name instead. I'll try this again, and if it still doesn't find anything, if it manages to, cause me problems again, then I might as well just leave it out of the script because I don't really know why it's doing that. Okay, I guess it just can't find it. That's weird. Oh, that's why it should be set to false. I'm stupid. Okay. All right, there we go. Hopefully now it'll work. Hopefully things will work this time. And yeah, that was definitely like a really okay, the graph data is there at least. Wait, I didn't save anything. Or did I? Does it say a load? Does it say I have a graph? Yeah, it's there. Okay, good. So if I close out everything and I delete, yep, okay, there you go. That's what my problem was. I accidentally, yep, okay, so this one should be if checks if edge is in the dictionary. There we go. Edge's dictionary is not in the edges dictionary, specifically that. Okay, and with that, I think that fixed our problem. We can now actually go back to our save manager and we can get rid of our temporary, what was that, our temporary shortcut, because that is not actually supposed to be something we're supposed to do. And lastly, the vertex interaction, that's not how we're supposed to delete stuff. Now, okay, to test if this works, I am going to load up a new graph. Okay, so this is empty now, and if I load up, we load up slot one. Wait a second, no. Okay, we have to fix that. Save manager. What we now need to do is to go back to load saved at selected slot. Technically, yeah, this is correct. However, when we load a graph, this is supposed to be loaded at selected slot num. This should be the integer plus 1. And we should actually call this I guess that's fine then. Let's try this again. So here we're just going to load up a new graph. Then we're going to load up the up, confirm at slot 2. There we go. I guess I might as well should I include the path next to the that might actually be something I should do. That actually might, yeah, that might actually be something I should do because the path is, I think it's really important that you have it there. Now the path needs to be absolutely tiny, but I might need to actually make this longer if I want to. add that, but it might be worth it. So let me get rid of this. So yeah, we have yeah, I think I might as well do that. Let me go ahead and modify our, let me get rid of these interact functions because we got a lot of stuff here. Holy, whoa. We have a lot of stuff open. Let me get rid of some of this. Cam interaction, value panel. Why is all this open? Okay, save slot. So next is we're going to have a public text, and this will be the slot path. This is the path to file data. Path to file, and well, first off, we're going to make this a public void. Actually, no, it technically should be under the update info text. Rather we'll get the graph name, and what we have to do now is to do save system.file path, or no. What we need to do is say slot path dot text is going to be equal to save system dot file path, and then all we need to do is pass pass in the file name, which is going to be graph, then plus the slot number specifically, then the file extension will be graph data. Oh yeah, we need to make sure that's in quotes. Now let's go ahead and save that to our. So now what we need to do is to add a new text component. I might as, since these are not hard to make, I'm going to just delete them, or actually, nah, I'll keep them. And then I'll keep I might as well call this being the graph name. This one will be graph name, and of course, this save slot 3 will be graph name, and of course, we want to put a UI text. This text is going to be the file path. Now we do actually really want to make this. This is going to be a long. The file path is going to be a long. It has to be rather long. So we want to make this like so. However, we also would like to make it tiny. We're going to make this like. Actually, we want not 5. 5 is too small. 10 most likely. And okay, this is, yeah, we definitely will probably need to make this rather longer. So I'm going to do 400, but also like to move this to the center. Come on, center like this, and we're going to, not that. And why is it, okay, sure. We'll do it like this. And of course, we want to make sure that the text is white. It's going to be, well, path. However, yeah, we forgot to do something here. Oh, if there is no data, then we have to do slot path dot text saying no path. Actually, we don't want to have, we just wanted to say nothing. All right. Now the file path, we also would like to set it to Calibri because that's how I'm doing it. And of course, the last thing is I'm probably going to have to make this a lot longer. So I'm going to make this all the way up to 30. Hopefully that'll give it enough space. And let's actually, we go to slot 1 and we'll put this file path text And we're going to duplicate this 2 times. File path 1. Just going to make a file path. Our slot 2. File path. And we actually need to make sure that I'm just going to make sure that this is the correct file path. Okay, this one goes to this one goes to that one. And lastly, this one goes to this one. Now, let's go ahead and see. Right, we completely forgot to actually properly put all of the, so this one is obviously its correct spot. Over this guy needs to go back over here. And lastly, file path for you. Oops, don't want to do that. We want to put you right here. Hopefully now, we'll see. So yeah, we have our up, and if you wanted to, we could actually delete. So we'll confirm our delete, and if we load, wait, hold on a second, let me shift. And if I was to check, yeah, it's gone. And if I was to save, then I want to save to, let's say, slot 3. Let's confirm, and let's call this up test again. Let's just call it that. Let's go ahead and check our load. Hold on a second. Is the file path long enough? Is it long enough? Because it's not going to the, it's missing something. The path is missing something. Ah, that's why. Okay, we need to actually make the text longer. Oh my gosh, wow. So now, I guess what I'll have to do is we're going to have to make this just a bit more longer. Jeez. To the right, we'll make this 40. Then this one I want to be 74, just perfect, and put you directly on center. Now, I would actually like to move the delete save buttons a bit farther to the right, if that's the case. I'm going to put them at 400 on the X. You know what? I'm going to add some more UI. This panel, all it's going to do is we're going to get our sprites. So that way we can actually differentiate. So, oops. All right, get our sprites, do our panel, set this to black actually, and make it completely like so. Now we want to actually extend this all the way to be longer. So we want this to extend all the way up to you. Why not? Actually, just a tiny bit less. Like, let's try 150. Yeah, let's try that. 515 for file path. 515, and at last 515. This one will just be the outline. Just duplicate it. Outline will go slot number 2. Of course, outline will go here to slot number 3. The outline needs to actually needs to be positioned at its proper point. So we're going to do that for save slot number 3. Outline needs to go all the way down here. And with that, yeah, hopefully now it would be a little easier to determine things. So yeah, we can see, as you can see, it has the data, and now we're going to try and save multiple, or let's try and save another one. So let's create another, what is it? We're going to create another, another temporary graph. Now this one is going to have another, it's going to be another one. So let's put this one at 10, and this one put this at -10. This one will be set to 0. However, in the middle, we'll have a, we'll make C, and we want this one to be at 0. This one, the height, oh, why not, we'll make it 10. Now we want to connect all of these, so this is not the only edge. We're going to make BC. So this is going to be B from B to C, and we don't want any of these to be directional. And lastly, from C to A. So we go from C to A. So that is going to be our next graph. And we're going to save this to our slot number 1, why not? So let's go ahead and see what it looks like. All right, that definitely looks like a triangle if you ask me. So let's go ahead and save it to number 1. We're going to call this triangle. Confirm. Hold on a second. I noticed something. There was a problem with, there it is. Okay. So we have triangle. And lastly, I kind of want to, I'm going to, for the last one, let's not make things hard for ourselves. Let's just have a horizontal. Let's just do this, okay? And with that, let's exit out and let's see what we got. It's just a, there we go, just a long line. And we're going to call this confirm, and let's call this line. Confirm. And if we were to go back to our load, and if we wanted to bring up test, we could confirm, and yep, there we go. We can confirm, and yeah, as you can definitely see, our saving system what the heck did I just do? You can definitely, yeah, we can actually, whoa, wait a second. Whoa, okay. I think that has to do with the outline. We do not want to raycast target the, the outline. That's definitely something. Raycast target. We also would like to get rid of the navigation on these buttons because yeah, as you can see, look at that. That looks ugly and horrible. It looks horrible, okay? So we have to get rid of all of it. We don't want any of it at all. No, we don't want any. The delete save button, there's none. Okay, this one's going to have none. And you also need to make sure that you have none. We also want to make sure that you have none. In general, we just don't want any this is a button, right? Okay, we just don't want any of that. So lastly, the new graph, we don't want any of that. So the outline, break as target, no. And I believe that should actually fix that problem. So if we were to, wow, that's rather strange. Okay, I also need to do that same thing for the text. Let's have to do the same thing for the graph name. Make sure it's not a raycast target. Same thing for the file path, not a raycast target. The graph name, not a raycast target. And the file path is not a raycast target. Because it ends up highlighting that. I'll delete, this guy's just a button, nothing. Then for the, what is it? Now I would actually kind of like to make the highlight color a bit darker. Then for the press color, I'm going to make it a lot darker. Now just to test, because I don't want to actually make sure, I don't want it to make it look invisible. Okay, that's exactly what I did not want to do. It's too dark. Hold on a second. Lower it, let's make this a little higher. So if we do that, it still kind of starts to blend in a bit. Okay, there's a bit of a problem now with that. So this raycast target. This button is supposed to be a raycast target. Okay, this is awkward. Why is it? Okay, that's even weirder. I don't remember that ever happening. It's because of the outline? Let me delete the outline. No, it's just, they both are connected. Huh. I don't remember that happening. Okay, why is it highlighting that? It should not be doing that. It definitely should not be doing that. Let me just remove it from. I'm gonna parent it to the same side. We'll do the same thing with the others because that's rather strange, I swear. This is going to be for slot number. This is going to be for slot 0, slot 1, and lastly, this guy is going to be for number 2. Now, all of you are going to be parented to the side of this. Hopefully, that fixed our issue. And yeah, I think when we go to our save slot, let me copy the highlight color, paste it, and lastly, paste it to you. Or press color, rather very dark, but that's exactly what I wanted to do. I want it to be very obvious that you pressed. There we go. Then, as you can see, we want to load up the triangle. Confirm. And let's say we wanted to, let me bring back the triangle, and let's say that we wanted to, instead, let's go ahead and try and do let's try and do a save over a file. So let's go ahead and we're going to save this, and this time we'll save this to the first path, to the first slot. We're going to get rid of all these menus, and let's go ahead and look at our creation. So it's just goes in a circle. It's a loop actually. If we were to save and we want to save this to this guy, we can confirm. And yeah, let's go ahead and exit out. And this time, let's just get rid of everything. Or actually, we can still have this. We'll still have it, but we just need to load up a new graph. Then load up the new graph. So now it's just a single circle. And if we were to load up the triangle, it definitely works. Yes, the saving works. Oh my gosh, saving definitely works. Oh my gosh, I've finally done it. So I can get rid of this temporary function actually, and yeah, so let's get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. All we need to do is to load up a new graph file. And as you can definitely see, we do have our files. One thing I could do, and maybe should do, is oh yeah, one thing I wanted to do was to add a new way to actually control the camera, because not everyone will have a mouse like I do, and what I want to do is to for the rotate camera. Let me find the rotate camera. What I want to do is an alternative. So if input dot get key down, we'll pass in, this one will be key code dot, this one will be the up arrow, and if this is true, then we're going to actually take something very similar to this. However, we don't multiply this by input dot, we just multiply this by 1f. And then, however, if input dot get key down, we'll do key code dot down arrow, and then we do rotation dot x minus equals player settings dot script dot camera sensitivity. We don't even need to multiply this by 1f. We just need to do that. Now this one is the arrow keys rotation, and this one is actually a mouse rotation. So this one is again a mouse rotation, and what we want to do is say if input dot get key, not get key down, we want it to get key. If input dot get key, then we do key code dot right arrow. This one will be arrow keys rotation. If we do that, then we want rotation dot y to do something very similar to this. We want to do this. Now, however, if input dot get key, then we pass in key code dot left arrow rotation dot y is going to be plus equals p settings.script.camera sensitivity. Now we kind of have to just copy this again. I'm going to copy this, paste it here, and well, of course, we want to do mouse rotation. This one, we'll just flip this around, and hopefully now we can have an alternative way to move the camera, to rotate the camera specifically. On the start, if we were to go out, ooh, whoa. Oh wait, that appears to also move the character. That's something we don't want to do. We have our horizontal, our alternate. Yeah, we don't want that. Horizontal and vertical. We don't want to use those. I'm just going to check this. Okay, that's nothing. With that, let's go and test out our rotation when we can. Whoa. What is going on? Okay, what is going on? Let me just resume here. And let's focus on the camera because I have no idea what's going on with it. Let's go to our game. I'm gonna bring my game preview to the side here. Looks like we mixed up our camera rotation a bit. It's not supposed to. Okay. This is supposed to be the. I guess this one's supposed to be the up arrow. This one's supposed to be the down arrow. Strangely enough. Up arrow. This will be down arrow. And this one will be the right arrow, and this one will be left arrow. Let's try that. Now the camera sensitivity, I have a feeling it's a lot less. So we want to actually, we actually want to decrease this by, like, we want to actually multiply this by half or something. Because when you do the arrow keys, it's definitely moving way much more faster. So we want to just decrease that by quite a bit. So 0.5f. All right, and with that, let's go ahead and let's bring back our game to the scene. Hopefully now it'll actually make more sense. So let's try it out. Yeah, it's still quite fast. Let's definitely maybe a quarter of the speed. Or I don't know if I'm technically I don't know if I technically have my sensitivity higher up than some people, or than the majority of people. But then there are people who still have higher sensitivity than me. But I might have a higher sensitivity than most people, so I might need to increase that number. This looks a lot more fine to me, but it's still kind of. Still quite a bit. Wait a bit, yeah, it's still quite fast. So let's try one. This is why I never played console. This is why I don't really like to play console games. Wow, this is so fast. Why? Or I don't know, maybe it's just me. I think, you know what, I think I'll keep it at that because I think that's technically how my sensitivity is. It's kind of fast. Yeah, I guess that actually makes it. And F technically is the interaction button. Now to bring up the menu is actually just escape. So technically, yeah, you could actually, if you wanted to, you could actually play this do this entirely on. Oh, that's why. Okay, let's put this to 25. Yeah, because that's way too slow for me now. I think 25 is definitely probably more suitable. And let's go ahead and test this out. One of them is definitely not like the other, and that is you. So just to actually make this a lot easier for myself, I'm going to make a float. Okay. This one will be more of a private. I'll do a serialized field on this. This one will be a private float. Arrow keys smoothing. By default, I'll set this to 0.25 f. So rather than using that, I'll be using arrow keys smoothing. So that way I can adjust it a lot more easier. Arrow keys smoothing. So that way I can easily adjust this in the inspector rather than having to hard code it every single time. Right, let's go to that, and arrow key smoothing is set to that. So yeah, you could actually, I actually made this such that you can technically play this entirely on the keyboard. That's actually one of my main goals. I want to make it such that you can do this you can use this entirely with the keyboard if you wanted to. I'm gonna try to avoid the numpad because I want to have everything available. Actually, I believe for my cam interaction, I don't want F, I want X, not that. I want X because that's actually what I am used to for interaction. So yeah, with that we are almost at the 1 hour mark. I'm probably going to stop at the 2 hour mark because yeah, once again I have limited time here this time. So if I do X, should I also smooth when you hold shift, should I also technically okay, my brain is kind of getting confused with how this is oriented. I might want to actually, I really kind of don't want to do this, but I might want to actually have something to tell you the direction you're facing because let's face it, my brain is kind of getting lost from looking around. Like sometimes when I'm doing this, it makes sense, but then sometimes I could do like this, and when I do this, it looks like I'm going straight when I'm expecting myself to go completely in another case in point. I'm getting confused. I might need to add some sort of pitch and yaw thing. I really don't want to do that, but pitch and yaw. Okay. I can never remember pitch yaw. The pitch axis is completely vertical. Okay. Because I have an idea for how to actually have you visualize that. I have an idea. It's going to be, I think it's going to be rather nice if I can properly pull it off. I guess I might as well do that since I don't really have anything else to do. So I'm going to go to GIMP again. What I'm going to do is to kind of just make a circle. I just want to make a circle. Well, not just a circle. I also would like to make some other things. But I do a 64 by 64. Then in the middle, we want to do a, not that, we want to make, okay, we also want to add an alpha channel and take that out. And then lastly, we want to set this to white. Now, you want, what the heck is this? We want to now make a circle. We want a fixed aspect ratio. Okay, we want to position it at 0, 0. Then we want to put it at 64 by 64. With that, let's make a bucket. And are you serious? Come on, that's okay. Okay, let's try this again. 0, 0, 64 by 64. Then let me invert my selection. Oh, come on. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Now, what I'm going to do again is I'm going to get rid of my selection. Get rid of my selection. Then I'm going to go back to the circle tool and just make a random. Fine. We're going to go do this. 0, 0. Then instead, we're going to take a smaller, which I'll do 54 by 54. Span from the center. And it looks like this is rather annoying. Okay, so we'll do 5, 5, 5. All right. Actually, let's try making this a little larger because that looks a little too thick. Let's try 60 by 60. I think that's fine. All right, now let's invert our selection. Invert it. And what we want to do is to just, not that, we want to delete everything inside of that. And there we go, we have a circle. So let's go ahead and export this. Go back to our good old buddy over at Graph Theory. We have our assets, our sprites, and then this one will be a circle. Circle.png, we don't need to save any of this. Yeah, then let's make a new, this one will just be an arrow. We're going to do something rather similar. However, let's go ahead and delete all right, we need to add an alpha channel. Let's delete everything. Then right in the middle, we're going to make a pencil. We're going to put this right straight down in the middle. This, then we'll go like that. Now, to give it actually some more essence, that's an actual arrow. That's something I need to do. So I actually need to make this look more like an arrow. let's see. There we go. And if we were to move you, just not okay, fine. It doesn't look that good anyway. Okay, anyway, let's try this again. Okay, that looks ugly. But let's try this. Oh my gosh, okay, there we it looks terrible. Okay. Maybe I should have a smaller brush. Okay, let's try that. That did not help. It looks worse. Okay. Let's try this. Uh There we I guess we'll have to deal with it. Okay, this is going to be the arrow. And again, let's export it. So now, I don't believe I'll need GIMP. To actually do this, what I need to do is to make this a sprite, obviously, and then apply it. Make this also a sprite, and apply it. Now, let me go to our extras, and let's, okay, we also need to seriously focus on this canvas because it's rather large. Then we want to also, we kind of just want to move this, we would like to move the save panel out of the way because it's kind of just blocking everything now. Let me just make sure that it's not, that I didn't just completely destroy everything. And if I was to bring up the confirm, yeah, okay, everything still works. And on the game, okay, good. Now what you have to do is to go to our extras. What I want to do is, on the coordinates, what I would like to do is to actually expand upon this. I wonder if I want to go here or down. I think I'll go down. So here I'll have some text. This one will be the pitch. We also want to set this to Calibri. Hold on a second. These are Calibri, right? Yeah, Calibri. This one will be the pitch. Pitch. Then we want to center it like that, and we want to obviously set it to white. Pitches up and down. So what we now want to do is, we don't want to put it to the center. We want to actually anchor it to the top. And we want our yaw. So pitch and yaw. So that way people don't get confused. Then under this, we want to make an an image. Here we'll take a circle. Okay, the circle should be here. Actually, no, this one should be the yaw under yaw. Set this to 0. And let's make this to 50. Actually, let's just set this to not 0. 50. Now, I would like to make this smaller. We'll make it 32 by 32. Is that big enough to see? Yeah, it's big enough. Okay, 32 by 32. Then we want to just change this and U, of course. Come on, center up, center, center. There we go. Now under that, we also want, this is going to be the circle, and then under that we want another image, which we want it to be the same size. Then what we want to do is to put the arrow right in the middle. In this arrow, we want to set this to a yellow because that way people can actually see it. Now for pitch, I probably should make a semicircle for this one. Probably should have. Let me go ahead and navigate to that. So, assets. Let me go to under my sprites. Make it circle. Not put it to the trash bin. We want to copy paste it. Now this one we're going to call semicircle, but we're going to open it with GIMP. Under this guy, we're going to crop it. We're going to crop it literally half. Yeah, there you go. And then we could just export this as semicircle. Let's just replace it, get rid of all that, and export. Here we go, delete, and let's find it. Hopefully it exists. Hello? Hello? Semicircle? Oh, there you are. Okay, then we need to set it as a sprite, then apply it. Then for the pitch, all we need to do is we're going to do something rather similar. We're going to take a, let's just copy this thing and then put it there. Under pitch. Okay, I'm technically kind of doing something rather interesting because this is supposed to be the rotation along the XY, assuming it's the XY axis. And never mind, it's not, whatever. I just wanted to, never mind. This is the pitch arrow, and this one will be the yaw arrow. Now, this will be a circle. Actually, no, this is supposed to be the semicircle. And we want to give this the semicircle. Now, you obviously need to reduce this by half, which is 16. Now, the yaw arrow, we just need to technically, yeah, we're still going to keep it like that. We also pitch arrow. Okay, first off, we need to fix the semicircle such that it's now. We also would like to, I'm going to rotate, not like that, not that, 180 degrees. Pitch arrow. We technically want it to actually be twice, not that direction, in this direction. We want it to be like that. And we don't want it to be there. We want it to be actually, no. We wanted it to be positioned right there. Okay, I'm trying to figure out a way to have this arrow face the, okay, there we go. That's how we can do it. We can make it 180 degrees on the Y. So that way we can, you know, set it to properly. I'm pretty sure, okay, now to do this, now to actually control that, I wonder if I should do that in the UI manager. You know what, the coordinates are here, I might as well. We also have the public game object array, so this one will be pitch yaw arrows. Then what we need to do is not the text. We don't need text. All we need is the game objects. So now the coordinates. All we need to do is all we need is the camera position. You know what? Let's make this simple for ourselves. Let's make this a transform cam trans. Then instead of the position, we're going to do it like that. Transform. Then this will be dot position dot x dot position dot position. Right. This is also cam trans, and lastly cam trans. Now we need to set the rotation of the pitch yaw arrows. Now to do that, we need access to our good old friends, the pitch yaw arrows. 0 is for the yaw, so dot transform dot rotation is going to be equal to quaternion dot Euler negative cam trans dot the vector 3 dot which one is it? I believe it's the Z. Is it the Z? Yeah, Z. So then it would be vector 3 dot right forward. There we go. We have to do the same thing, but now for the pitch yaw arrows, this one rotation for the pitch, rotation for yaw, which is equal to quaternion dot Euler again. Okay. Technically, we need to rotate the circle to be like this. Now, okay, I also probably should have an indicator of where the start is. So I'm going to have this one is the 0 arrow. The 0 arrow is going to be a let me get another image. Put an image. This one is the, not that. Put this guy here, and well, we want to put it up. This one is the 0 arrow. This one, well, let me copy the component and paste it into the paste component values. This one will be a red, a light red. going to kind of duplicate this one, and we're going to put it here. And this guy, we're going to, rather than is this guy even, oh, 32 by 32, right? Then we want to put this guy right in the center. There we go. Why is the yaw arrow just not aligned? Right, because it's flipped or something. Okay. Now the 0 arrow, we kind of want to rotate this exactly negative. So we'll start the circle at negative 90 degrees. Here we go. Now under this, we want to go turnion.Euler. And this one is going to get the, I believe it's the y. I'm not sure if it's going to be the opposite, but I'm going to do camtrans.Euler angles.y. As you multiply this by a vector 3 dot, think forward. now to actually, yeah, there we go. Save that, and with that, and we have, why is the scale like this? Okay, let's go exit out. Okay, we apparently, okay, so it's negative 90. Hold on a second, let me check the rotation of the camera. Negative 90. Looks like we might have to do a bit of addition. So technically we need to, why are the pitch and yaw arrows just not aligned? So now if we were to rotate along the X, never mind, it's completely the opposite. I believe we might want to now just do minus 90F, because it's either minus or plus. I can't tell. I think, yeah, that kind of helps. Now, where is everything? Okay, good, internet's back. And with this, we kind of now have a pitch and yaw. Now I'm confused about this yaw. What? It's completely flipped over. What? Okay. Something tells me that okay, that was weird. Why was it? So, okay, this is rather strange. Okay, that makes more sense now, because Okay, I think I'm starting to make sense of this. So, these dials, if you would like to call them dials, they make a little bit of sense. You just need to kind of figure out how they work because technically, the hardest part is because you technically only have one reference point, which you only have so many reference points, which is which is technically the whatever vertex is in your, yeah. So let me go ahead and load up test just to, so yeah, this is up. If we were to look like, if we were to look down like this, hopefully you'd be able to tell your pitch and yaw. So yeah, this basically tells you your pitch and yaw. I'm not sure if I should make it a little smaller because I have to admit it looks a little big. Also gonna move this up like right there. Whoops, not that. I'm gonna move you up. And of course I'm gonna move this up. Anyway, now for you. Excuse me. Dear gosh. Pitch and yaw. It's just fun to see the dials turn around and such. But yeah, anyway, so let's go ahead and save. With that, I think we're good enough to keep that. Now, I think what is next on the list of things to do? We technically got our saving. We got, well, I guess we might as well do the saving for the player settings because, yeah, the player settings is rather important and we need to be able to set those up. So the extras, not extras, we got to go to our menu, our pause menu. And well, for a matter of fact, let's open up a new panel. Actually, no, not there. We want to put it in the menu. We want to open up a new panel, and this one will be the player, the setting panel. Now, obviously, what I want to do is, whoops, not that. We want to go to our sprites, go hit our panel up, and do such. Now the player settings, we want to add a panel under it, and I guess we'll also make it, we're just going to make this, we could make it white-ish. Actually, I'll make it a little grayish. Then here, we want to have, this is going to be the fill. I have a feeling I feel like I'm a little bit mixed up today because it should be the other way around. This should be the settings panel, and this one should be the outline. There we go. Now, under this, we would like, maybe we want to add some text. And under this text, we want to obviously set this to Calibri because that's what I want to do. And we want to make this white. And of course, we want to add, I'm going to add another panel. This one will also include these, be just a height of 40, 50 is all right. Position.y will be -25. There we go. And then all we need to do is put this in here. This one will be the title. Then of course we want to center you. Maybe also expand you as well. And this guy, well, I guess we'll also do a best fit. This guy will be the settings. Now, there are also other things that I would like to do, and we want to add a button. This one will be the apply. This one will say apply, and of course we want to make it say have a Calibri because that's how we want it. All right, then this one will be, rather than put it to the top, not like that, we're going to put this guy, instead of stretching it out, we're going to put it, how many times did I tell you to do this? Put it to the top, all right? My gosh, that took forever just to do. So this is the apply settings button. Apply settings button. Now this one is going to go at the very bottom. Look at the very, very bottom. And this one will be negative 450. Not that. That's way too low. I think that's fine. And then what we want to do is to position it. Actually, I think we want to position it based on the center. And we want to move this to the side by negative 250. Is that too much? Negative. Yeah, let's try that. Then under this, we don't want to, I'm not sure if I want to, I think I'd rather use this than, actually, hold on a second. I think I'll go back to the button. Then I'll add a panel. Under this panel will just be our good old friend, the black, this will be a black outline. Then the apply settings button, it'll just be, no, it'll be like that. Actually, hold on a second. It looks a little awkward, so I'm going to get rid of the roundness of the edges. Now let me just go ahead and look at it. I think, yeah, that works, but let's remove that. Looks like the highlight is not working, which is rather odd. If we were to remove the panel, so that the problem is not the panel, it's really just how it works. All right, then. So we have the apply, and then we also have the cancel. Cancel. Okay, this one will be at the other way, on the other side. I obviously want to change this to say cancel. Now our settings, for our settings, there are quite a bit of things that we need to add. One of the things that I would like to actually, I would like to add a, for one, we want a slider. However, the slider itself, the handle, I want to kind of give it a rectangle, just some rectangle shape. So instead, we're going to set it to blank, and we want to rather than making it a width of 20, I'd rather make it a width of, let's go make this a width of 10. Then I want to add another panel under it. This one will be our good old buddy, the panel, and this will be black. Just need to actually bring up the opacity. Now for the area, obviously, I think you guys can tell that I don't want to use that. I would rather use. And the background is, I think we can leave the background as is, but we can actually get rid of that. Hold on a second, what is this? The fill. The fill, again, we can just add a bit of some things like, okay, the fill definitely, we'll probably want to make it a tiny bit smaller. We want to decrease the height. Wait a second. What did I just do? Okay, that was weird. Fill area. What happened to this? What happened to it? Oh, I made the height 0, that's why. I'll make it, let's try a 7.5, and I think it actually looks rather fine. So we'll do 7.5 by 7.5, and then we'll just do 7.5 divided by 2. Come on, divided by 2. There we go. Or I guess we'll just put it up, I guess, like that. The fill. I guess we'll do it as 5 then, and then we'll make the height. Let's try 8. Now if I was to adjust the value, okay, that yeah, that definitely doesn't look right. That's not how it was supposed to look. However, kind of would like to set this to 10. Okay, hopefully now that'll look better. Now, under the background, I think I'm okay with leaving it as is, but I would like to make a panel and give it a black outline. Like so. Actually, I changed my mind. The fill should just be completely black, completely gray like that. There we go. It looks, oh, wow, it actually looks pretty nice. And the slider, I guess, okay, let's make the handle, let's fix the handle, I guess. Make it, fine, we'll make it 20 because, because apparently, okay, yeah. So the slider, so this is our slider. This is going to change our mouse sensitivity. So this is going to be the rotation sensitivity slider. Now, under that, we would like to actually, under this, we would like to make not a camera. Why would I want, why on earth would I want to make a camera? I would like to make a panel. Okay, I would like, not a panel, I want to make a text, and this one is going to be Calibri, and this one is going to be the camera rotation sensitivity. And we want to also have that be right there. We're going to do it like this. And we also want to parent the rotation sensitivity slider to the text. So this is going to be rotation. Cam sensitivity. And then right beside it, I also would like to, do I want to anchor this to the, I think I want to anchor this one to the, how long have I been live streaming? Almost 2 hours, okay. I want to anchor this one to the top right, and under that, I want this one to be at right there, I guess. I guess that's fine. The negative 120. Then the position, I guess that it looks, I have a feeling the handle looks a little bit long, but I think it's fine. Because technically all the other settings are just, the other settings right now are more of just, what is it? The settings, the player settings are just booleans. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's it's like 3 on each side. I guess that works. So we also technically want a float value on top of that. So I'm gonna have a UI text. Under the cam sensitivity, we want this one will be sensitivity value. Now we're going to put it here. We don't want to exactly align it. We want to align it based to this guy. And we want it directly above. And of course, we need to remember to put this to Arial. Set this to white. Not Arial, we want to set this to Calibri. Then this guy is going to basically say the value. So it's going to be 0 or 1, 0, 1, or whatever. We'll stay 0. It'd be a little awkward if you could actually set it to 0. Now this one we need to remember to set it to white, and of course this is Calibri. What do you expect? And this guy needs to be parented not to the middle, but to this. And of course we need to properly align it like so. So that way, if we were to change that, okay, this guy, now the text inside. There we go. We'll set it to 162. The position will be 115, I guess. Okay, if the I have a feeling that now I'm having a feeling that the background needs to be more completely like this. All right, there we go. Now we don't want it to say 10F, we want it to say 100 or something, or 10.00. And well, yeah. Now under the I guess the player settings should handle the UI as well, because it's all technically here. It's all technically here. So under this, I want to make a public. We're going to need to be using Unity engine dot UI. This one will be a public void sensitivity slider. Now update update sensitivity slider. Now basically what we want to do is we want to get you know what? Wow, this is actually a rather interesting way I could do it. This one was actually supposed to be a public slider called the sensitivity slider. And under this, we're going to get that. Then, and here is this one will be updates UI to show current player's settings. So this one will be update sensitivity slider, and what it will do is it takes the sensitivity slider dot value will be set equal to the the camera sensitivity. That's really all it does. Or actually, might as well just make this update. This one will say update settings UI, like so. Then we also need to have a public, this one will be switch. No, this one is not a switch. It's going to be, okay, I know what it is. I've used this before. In the settings panel. Okay, now we need to make a new, I'm going to duplicate this, but it's not actually camera sensitivity. This one is actually going to be now the invert camera. It's almost going to be 2 hours. All right. We don't really need this or this. Now this one obviously is going to say inverted camera. We want to put this in the middle. We're gonna put this all the way to, not to, what? No. Okay, you know what? Fine, you win. You win. Okay. We'll have it centered. The Y is going to be 150, like this. This one's going to be 0, 0. Then for you, all we need to do, we can technically shrink you down. We want you to be aligned like with Mr. Camera rotation sensitivity. And under this guy, we need to add a UI, and this one will be where is it? Toggle. There we go. Toggle. Now the toggle looks absolutely ugly, so we definitely. Oh my gosh, the toggle looks so ugly. This one will be the inverted cam invert. So now what we're going to do is we're definitely going to have to fix this. It looks absolutely ugly. So this is camera inversion. Now the background check mark. We don't want to have a check mark. Simply put, I don't want to have a check mark. I want it to be something else. And we're going to have a panel. This one will be the outline. And I forgot. There's still navigation. Okay, we'll fix the navigation later. Camera inversion. Wait, hold on a second. Let me check. Where's the label? Label, there it is. We want it to be centered. I don't know why that isn't centered. We also want this to be white, because that's kind of how my theming is. The outline obviously is going to be this. We want it to be black. And we want to have this be the panel. And the background, get rid of it. We don't need it. This one will be white. Now, instead of using a check mark, take this. we're not going to use the check mark. We're going to use we don't want it to be exactly the same size. However, we would like to make it just a tiny bit smaller, just maybe 3 on all sides. Now in the middle, we want to, this is kind of how I want the toggle to work. So is on this one will be okay, so in the process of doing that, I have kind of just destroyed how this works. So I could do a panel, I guess, but let me see how it looks like. So apparently it needs to use the check mark image for some odd reason for it to work, even though it's absolutely ugly. Not that one. And for some odd reason it's now not even working. What is the toggle group? I should probably create a toggle just for reference, because what is the toggle group? What? Okay, let's just test this out. What is going on? It's not even letting me. It's not even letting me properly visualize it. Check mark. I don't want to use a check mark. It's supposed to be on. And check mark. We're not going to use a check mark. We're going to set this to none. Let's test this out. I think I like that a lot better. And just to get rid of that toggle, because I think I like that a lot better. Now, to actually make this more consistent with how I've been doing this stuff, I'm going to put it like right here. However, I'll go ahead and shrink this. Camera inversion will be like that. Okay, I guess, oh my gosh. I guess then I'll put this to the other side, and you go like that. And depending on how this one, rather it has to depend on this guy, and you need to move like right there. Now depending on, not that, we want to now take our invert camera and test if it works. Now this guy obviously needs to go to be, not you, the background, or what? Okay, the background needs to be parented to this. That way, if we were to do that, do this, do that, not you, There you go. So yeah, that actually worked out pretty nicely if you ask me. I'm going to go ahead and bring this like that. Now, to actually get rid of I'm going to get rid of that. I also want to get rid of any navigation whatsoever. None, nothing, not none. Okay. And we don't want camera inversion on, so we're going to turn that off. Next, we need to okay, actually, group, technically I might want to make the settings panel a lot smaller now. So yeah, I'm gonna probably do that. So I'm gonna now bring this lower. And here, it's not gonna be camera inversion. This one will be, what was it? What's the next one on the script? Okay, this one's going to be a toggle called the invert cam toggle. And we obviously need a public toggle for every one of this display chords. Toggle. Then of course public toggle show vertex names. Should be named toggle. Be named toggle. There we go. Again, public toggle show e names toggle. Oh gosh. And lastly, public toggle hide notif toggle. Oh my gosh, that's quite a lot of stuff. So now what we need to do is to say, so invert cam toggle state? No, okay, I can never remember. Is on, my bad. And this is going to be equal to cam sensitivity, not cam sensitivity, inverted camera, which is a Boolean. Then, of course, we want to do what other toggles are there. So we have show or hide coordinate. What chords? Display chords dot is on is set to display coordinates. Then we want, of course, to do it for the everything else. Show v names toggle dot is on is going to set equal to show vertex names, and show e name, not e names, edge values. So e values, show e values toggle dot is on is going to equal to show edge values. And lastly, hide notif toggle dot is on is going to equal to hide notifications. This will all update everything. And technically we also want a public text called sensitivity value. We also want sensitivity value dot text is going to be equal to camera sensitivity dot toString, and we only want two decimals. So whenever we set the camera sensitivity, not only do we do that, we also want to say sensitivity value dot text is equal to new value dot toString, and we pass in f2. But technically, do we just call the update settings UI? I don't think we need to. All right, so now we want to actually add an anim. Now, to do this, we have the camera version, then we have show chords. Our label is going to be, is it hide coordinates? Show coordinates. I guess, yeah. Guess we can do it like that, show coordinates. Then obviously we want to do is to hide vertex names. Why not? We'll do it exactly like that. Then the label hide vertex names, just exactly as said. Now we want to lower this. We want to make this a little bit longer. Same with you, you're a little too close to the. The next we want to do is to hide edge values. So hide edge values. Let me go ahead and make this capital. Hide edge values. Go to its label. Hide edge values. Now we can also make this guy a little smaller then. If that's the case. Then lastly, we want to hide notifications. Hide notifications is obviously going to just say hide notifications. With that, we have something rather interesting. And 30. Minus 10, minus 40, 150, and minus 70, 90. I guess we can try that. Let's try 70. And you stop. Okay. Here we go. You will also be, come on, stop. Just horizontally line up with everything. Here we go. Lastly, you line up with everybody. Now, since there are technically not a lot of settings, I'm actually going to shrink this. And you know what? I'm also going to have it such that these are actually parented to the top right. All right, so now what we can do is make the panel a lot smaller. This guy also probably should be parented to the top right. This guy, top left. Whoops. Now for this guy, we want to change this to 150. This guy will also be negative 150. Since, whoops, we want to make this rather small. Actually, this one should be more the bottom, and this one should also, no, this guy should be this guy. Then you should be the bottom right there. Settings panel. I guess we also should probably move these up a bit because look a little too, no. Okay, fine, we'll do it like this. We'll move it up like that. Now for this guy, for the buttons, we're going to move it such, this will be 100, this one will be negative 100. I want to move it a little tiny bit closer, 120, no, 120. There we go. I think that'll definitely do it for the settings panel because we don't actually have that many settings. I might be able to come up with more, but you never know. Set display coordinates. Now, to actually do this, is the player settings actually on something? Is it on the player? Yep, it is. Okay, so now the slider, the sensitivity slider is going to be rather one heck of some clicking and dragging, but we can definitely do it. So the cam sensitivity, ever sensitivity, oh my gosh. So our slider will just take our slider, then we want our text for this one to be this. We want our inverted camera. Ooh, we just take the toggles. Camera invert, show coordinates, hide vertex names, hide edge values. Wait, what is it in the script? Okay, so we're going to have to change the name of that. So this is going to be show, not hide. And lastly, this one will be also show. Then we want to, of course, we'll change the label later. But first we want to do the hide notifications is literally just a toggle. Then what we want to do is to go to our show this and go to our label. And this one, instead of hide, this one will say show. Then we want to take our label for this one and show. Are you serious? Okay, we want to now move this guy just a tiny tad bit like over to the side, and come on, stop snapping. And then we just want to move you to the side. With that, it's time to assign everything. Okay, the apply settings is going to be rather interesting. We want the normal color to be that. When we highlight it, I'd like to make it green, a light green. And oppressed, make it a darker green, just like we do. Normal color, we'll make it like that. We'll make a highlight with a red, and we want the press color to be dark red, like a very dark red. Anyway, now on click, there's one thing that I would like to do, and we have to go to get our main camera, player settings, And what we have to do here is to revert. Where is it? Come on. Is it here? Is it private? Why is this private? This should be a public, actually. This one will go P settings and set display coordinate. It has to be a Boolean. Where is it? Say, where is it? Where is it? Save new settings. There we go. That would be the cancel. Then the apply, take the same thing. Not the player UI, we take the camera. We put the function, we put player settings, save new settings to be true on the apply. Now for all of you, this one is going to be rather a bit of a pain because to go back up and down, up and down, up and down between a lot of things. So the main camera, oh, hold on a second, we have to get the main camera. Go to player settings, we want a dynamic, set camera sensitivity, and yeah, that one takes care of that. The camera invert, you also need to make sure that we have our player settings, a dynamic, where is it? Dynamic Boolean, there's a lot of these, so we want to find invert camera. So invert camera, show coordinates, again, the main camera, oh my gosh, this takes forever. Then we want to display coordinates, because this is display coordinates. Show vertex names, show edge values, hide notifications. Show edge, this one is going to be obviously be the camera. Fine. Okay, fine. We're just going to have to take the main camera and do it by hand. So show vertex names, then show edge values. Take the main camera. We're just doing this over and over again. You get the idea. Show edge values. Hold on a second. I show vertex names. Okay, good. Then lastly, the main camera, P settings, hide notifications. Oh my gosh! Now we actually I'm going to make an animator for this one. It's going to be its own custom animation. So this one will be a folder settings. We want to go to our settings. The settings panel is just going to come up from the bottom because I'm tired of everything coming from the top. So anyway, let's take this guy. Rather than doing this, I would like to add a component called an animator. And here I would like to create what is it? I like to make an animation. This one will be obviously this is going to be the open settings. Settings panel, yeah, that's fine. Open settings, and all we need to do is to go to our setting. Where is it? Where'd you go? Settings panel. Open it up. And first off, we'll do a third of a second. Take it like that, and at 1 second, this will be completely at the bottom. We want to make sure that this is at the bottom. Yep, there we go. We'll go ahead and we'll flip. What do you mean? What did I just adjust? Just want to put you at the middle. There you go. There we go. Save that. we have to do a new one, which is the close settings. Rather simple. All we need to do, take its position currently, go to it 30 seconds and have it go straight down and right there. There we go. Then what we have to do is, this one will be stay open. Stay open settings. Why not? Stay open settings. I also would like to rename this to close settings. Then the stay open settings, what we need to do is to select the settings panel again. Not you. I'm talking about the stay open settings. Now this one, what we need to do is just center it. There we go. Stop. Create. This one will be stay closed settings. There we go. Obviously, very basic stuff in animation. Not even, just, come on, put it there. Put it there, there we go. And there we go, lots of animation done. Now we just need to figure out everything. So the stay close settings, we have to, this is making my OCD go crazy, so I'm going to just do it like that. Now, we obviously want to first make this the default state. And you know what this means? We can get to add the boolean called stay open. And this one literally just makes a transition, transition. Now I'm going to make sure I put the correct name because, yeah, okay. So now for you, no exit time, no fixed duration, and the transition duration is 0. Now the conditions obviously stay open. If it's set to false, we'll do that. And everything is basic. Now we need to go back to our UI manager and yet add another public animator. This one will be the settings animator. Wow, it's a shorter name than most. But what we have to do here is on the public void open close settings menu. Obviously, we're taking a boolean. This is going to be open. And all we need to do is do play UI animation. We take our settings animator and we put in open, and obviously the string is going to be the name of the opening is actually going to be a little bit different. If I can go to the proper, let me go to the scene, then let me go to the animator. The open settings. Okay, so this one is going to be called open settings, like that. What are the other names? Now to open the setting, now there's more than the cancel. Doesn't just do the save new settings to set to. Oh wait. What we need to do is to go into our player settings. Then when we save new settings, we need to, after all of that, what we need to do is do this. UI manager.script.open close settings menu. Then we pass in false because we're only going to close it. That's all we need to do when we confirm the new settings. It doesn't, yeah, because either way, if you confirm or cancel, you're going to close up the menu. You're going to close it. Now to open it, that is honestly just going to be Now to open the menu, or before we do that, we actually have to move this out of the way so it doesn't actually block anything. Right there. Is it showing? Oops. Then we have to get to the pause menu, which is kind of being blocked by a ton of stuff. So we're gonna hide this for now. Then for the settings, guess what? On click, we take our layer UI manager, and we want to open, close settings menu. And this one will be always set to true. Now, obviously, we want to bring back this menu, save. But there's one last thing that I need to do before I play it, and I almost actually played it, but there's one last thing I need to do. And that is when you open the settings menu, you don't just do that. You need to go to the player settings.script.update settings UI. That's what you need to do. All right, and this one is going to be the settings menu. I believe that if this is all I need, if this works, then I believe I would have finished everything that I need to do. So I'm going, what is this? What? Looks, okay, it's one of these things. I'm going to restart Unity. So let me do that. Oh yeah, when we confirm the settings, yeah, we save the settings. Okay. But we also technically, oh yeah, we also technically need a button to delete settings. So I'm going to, I guess I might as well do that as well. Hey, stop. I'll stop I'll stop when I finish this, which is a public void delete. That's just going to be clear settings. Clear saved settings. Now to do that, what we need to do is all this does is what this does is go to save system.delete save system. Rather than this delete save graph, this one will be public static void delete saved settings. Now to do that, we obviously need to make a string called a path, and this is going to be file path. We actually need to look at the, okay, so it's also still going to be called graph, comma, and this one will be player settings. I believe that is what I do. Yep, that is it. File path player settings. Then if existing file path is equal to true, file.delete, not decrypt, delete, and we add path. And that's a rather simple thing. Say system.delete saved settings. Not only will we delete the saved settings, but we'll also do default set, where is it? Where is that? Because I swear I had one that, oh, load default settings. There we go. And with that, that is one of the last things that I'm going to be doing. Under the settings, we're going to have another button. This button is going to be not just apply and cancel, but there's going to be one last button we need to add. So it's going to be UI. Actually, we don't want to copy. We want to copy one of these. This one is going to be the clear settings button. So the text is going to say clear settings. Now, where is it going to be positioned? I'm going to position it over in the I kind of wanted it to be in the middle, off to the right like that. However, I'm going to put it like right here. This one actually should be a red, and I'll make this also a red. Now, to make sure to prevent you from accidentally hitting that button, I'm going to actually make it a more square button, which is going to be make it 90 by 90. And we want the text to not be. Why is it like that? Also, text not being dark. Why is the text not completely black? It bothers me so much. Why is it? Something doesn't tell me that's not at the center. Something is seriously, oh, that's why, okay. Clear settings, put it more like right there. I would like to make it a little tiny bit smaller, so we'll try 85 by 80. You know what? 50 by 50. We'll do it like that, and I'll have it be right there. Now the clear settings is not going to be this. It's going to be player settings. Clear save settings. And with that, if I was to now, so okay, I want to load up. I'll just load up something. So we'll load up this graph, and then what I'm going to do is to go to my settings, and I did not assign an animator. That's what. Okay, that's what I forgot to do. So where's player UI? The animator, settings animator. Perfect. So just let me put these away. Then lastly, whoops, player UI, animator, settings panel. There we go. Hopefully now that'll work. Okay, we're not gonna load up anything right now. Whoops. Like I said, we're not saving anything. We're not loading anything. Okay, we're gonna go to our settings, and I think I messed something up. I think I definitely messed something up. Stay open pause, close pause. If this stay open is. That's rather strange. What does the, okay, settings? Okay, pause menu, settings button. All this does is sets open close settings menu to true. However, that means there's something that is saying, that means there's something that is telling it to close. Okay, that's rather strange. Nothing should be telling it to close. Player settings to update setting. Wait, hold on a second. Update settings UI. And no. Okay, we're gonna have to search for something, which is I probably should do this one, not a semicolon, but we're going to be looking for a UI manager.script, or maybe just open close settings menu, and we'll see whether this is set to false. Find the next. Is that literally the only one? That's the only one in this document. Okay, so let's try the all open documents. It's the only one that exists. Why is it okay? Why okay? Maybe then there's something that it's something that I did with the animator. Stay closed. Open. Stay open. Okay, now I'm confused. The one thing that the one thing that I managed to get consistent, the animations, and suddenly when this guy pops up, oh my gosh. Why? Stay open, pause. Wait a second. Did I switch around the... Stay open, pause. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. It's supposed to be the settings. Settings panel. There it is. Stay open is set to true. What? Okay, I need to look at the animator while settings open. Huh? Okay, there's something. Did I mess up something with the animation? Let me go back. Let me maybe that's why. So let's go to our animation and let's play our open. Open settings is fine. Now stay open settings. Aha, that's the reason why. Okay, there we go. So stay open should not be down there. It should be up here. Play it. Yep, there we go. Now stay closed. We play it. All right, there we go. Now, just because my OCD is not, there we go. Hopefully now it works. Does the settings menu actually work? So settings, yep, it definitely works. That's not what okay. That's not what our value is supposed to say. So let me go back to the player settings, and whenever we set the camera sensitivity, it's not going to be new value. Sensitivity value is supposed to be camera sensitivity, not new value. Now camera sensitivity, oh right, I probably need to adjust how camera sensitivity. Probably need to adjust the rotation slider from 0 to 1. So actually I probably would like to make it 1 to 0 because you don't want to set the rotation. You don't want to actually, not be able to rotate the camera. That would be kind of stupid. So settings, and it's a 10. Let's set this to 5, or let's try this, set it to 1. And what else do I want to do? I want to show these, and let's apply. And I believe that because we did that, we're not in our, let's go to our saved, so our percentage up data percentage. Let me navigate to that, to the file. It is wrong place. Graph theory shortest pathfinder. And here we do. We do have a player settings. We have a player settings saved. I cannot speak. We have a saved player settings file. There we go. Now, let me go ahead and test out the. Oh my gosh, the sensitivity. Yep, this definitely works. The sensitivity definitely works. So let me put that back. Okay. Then of course I would like to actually test the clear settings. Then under the clear settings, yeah, all we just need to do is we forgot to update the whenever we clear the settings, we forgot to do update settings UI. There we go. Okay, maybe the default should not be 10F. It should be 5. Technically, the default should not be 10. It should be 5 at half. Okay, here we go. And if we were to now load this up, it's almost been 3 hours. Jeez. Jeez. So if we show this, yep, it's at 5, and we set this to 10. Now, obviously, this is how I want my settings to be, so I'm going to apply this. And we have our player settings. We also are forgetting to actually notify our player about this. Whenever we want to do notification.notify, then here we'll say cleared all settings, reverting to default. Then we just want to put that for 5 seconds. We also would like to say if we don't make any changes, notification.notify, we want to say canceled. How do you spell canceled? Canceled. Okay, there. Canceled is with 2 L's. I definitely know how to spell canceled changes. There we go. Then we want to, I guess we'll notify it for 5 seconds as well. And yeah, or actually 2 seconds. 2 seconds for the settings, and then yeah, reverting to default. There we go. Oh yeah, I do need to test if the settings change. If you press cancel, if the settings change or not. That is actually rather important. So let me go to our settings, and let's say I want to hide coordinates. If I press cancel, yes, it works. It works. Yes. Okay. Now there's one last thing I would like to do, or one of the last things I want to do is to make sure that if what was the animator called? Settings animator dot get boolean, then we do stay open, because that's a constant, is equal to true. We want to do open close settings menu to false, and this just closes the UI, and this checks if the settings menu is open. I think with that I have managed to actually finish everything that has to do with saving. I've done loading, I've done the saving and loading of graphs, I've done the settings, the player settings, saving that, and yeah, I think with that things are going to be, we're going to finally start to work in the next time. I'm going to finally start to work on building graphs in 3D space. And take it at this is supposed to be a shortest path solver. Right now, I'm still not yet in the shortest path solving. I'm still right now just trying to figure out how to actually, I'm still coding the building of the graphs, I'm coding the saving of the graphs, and there's a lot of stuff that I need to code before I actually even start to work on the algorithm that I'm supposed to use to solve for the shortest path. And well, what is this? Hold on a second. Something doesn't look right. What is this? What is its target? Oh. There's one less that there's another thing that I forgot to do. Um, right. In the save manager, whenever we load up a new graph, we don't just delete the vertices and edges. We also technically need to delete all of the we also need to delete all of the stuff. Hold on a second. UI manager, player settings. Okay, let's do that. Hold on. Show. Whenever we create, okay, this is actually what we need to do. I need to get this guy. Then we'll copy paste it to be exactly. We'll do it like this first. So this one gets rid of the panels. Then we also need to do the actually before we do that, you actually need to before we actually do this, or what am I doing? It would technically, we can make this a lot shorter by doing UI panel. There you go. And with that, I believe that should get rid of every single panel that is currently in the graph. So for example, we start off here, and let's say I want to load up the line and confirm. All of it goes away, and yeah, everything is loaded. We can still obviously show the properties of stuff. And we want to interact with the edge. Yeah, this stuff definitely works. Now let's go to let's load up our up test. Confirm. All right, that's a major problem. That's one of the problems I have with this program. And that'll be figuring out how to read the values of certain yeah, it's actually really unique how I've managed to do this. I'm very proud of this. But yeah, I think it's about time that I start to get going because, like I said, this is probably going to be the last one before I start. This is going to be the last one in the series before I start to do this again on the weekends. So yeah, I do also. Would also like to get rid of some useless stuff. So yeah, this is how I'm going to do it. So this one just loads a new graph, and yeah, I have to go. I'm pretty sure I have to go now, but I have to do some other stuff because I've been live streaming for pretty much 3 hours, and well, I've done pretty much everything that I wanted to do for now. And in the next episode, we'll start to get to work on the edit mode, or specifically the graph creation. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. There's a lot of stuff that I'm putting into this program. We need to be able to build graphs other than typing in the code. Luckily, we already kind of have an idea for how this is supposed to work, And yeah, it's rather basic. We can actually use the graph editor. We can use the save manager. It doesn't matter. Most likely, I would like to use a graph editor. And most likely, I'm not sure if I want to put the functions here, or actually, it depends. I probably will have to do some. I probably might want to do a completely new script, which is probably the graph builder script. I'm not sure. If anything, I'll get to work on it the next time. So yeah, and as you can, I'm so glad that this works. Okay, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next time. That's really about it for now. So thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed.